Well, party leaders will meet on Monday to talk through proposals for a new system of reporting sexual assault and harassment claims after all those allegations we've heard from Westminster over the last few days.
Well, yesterday, Theresa May said that there needed to be a serious, swift, cross-party response following a week which has seen Labour and Conservative MPs suspended following allegations made against them.
We're joined now from Westminster by the Labour MP Rupa Huq. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on Breakfast. Can I just ask you to start with, what does it feel like to be an MP in Westminster this week? All these allegations, denials, claims, it must be a pretty grim atmosphere.
Well, I was in there yesterday. A lot of us were for the votes at 16 bill that was there. And it's true. It does feel like a Pandora's box has been opened, a dam has been burst, a genie's come out of the bottle, because a lot of stuff that's been suppressed for years and years seems to be coming out now. But I must stress that there are 650 MPs. And most of us, all of us, really just want the best for our constituents and the country. So this idea of Pestminster, that everyone's at it, I think we need to get a sense of perspective. But at the same time, serious wrongdoing has happened and we need to sort that out at the same time too.
That's it. You've spoken publicly yourself in the last few days about things that you've experienced years ago, and I think in the European Parliament. But, you understand what's been alleged here.
Yeah, in big organisations, I imagine in the BBC too, in a lot of places, this kind of stuff does go on, has gone on. But the difference with the House of Commons and Parliament is that there are rules that are lax, if not non-existent. So, I've had in my office people, disgruntled constituents, phone up and say, I'd like to complain about the MP. There is no real structure. There's no sort of overarching HR department that a member of the public could make a complaint to. So, if that's what we get out of this, it's a good thing. A light has been shone on these murky goings on. And the House of Commons is a most unusual workplace for an adult place of work. And in this sense, it needs to get into line. Other big companies have a sexual harassment policy. They have a staff handbook. All those things do not exist with MPs.
The Conservative the Conservative MP Roger Gale has said this morning that it feels like a witch hunt. He's insisting that he's not downplaying serious allegations that are being made, but he said, let's hang on a bit here. Things are getting a bit out of control. Would you agree with that?
Well, I don't agree with this whole idea that, it's a storm in a teacup, let's sweep it all under the carpet. But at the same time, the facts are disputed over these things. And it does seem they're coming out by the hour. The whole business about Michael Gove making a joke, that seems like 6 months ago now. The stuff at the beginning of this week seems ages ago. Where the facts are disputed, due process has to be done. We need a proper investigation so that we know actually what went on, because, who really knows what went on in all of these cases? Only the people that were there. So I think we do need proper mechanisms to investigate.
There's no sign of it stopping, though, is there?
No, and then you've got so many levels of this. So you've got the HR things that need sorting out. You've got a whole political culture which has kind of thrived on favours and bullying and the whip's office, you could say, bullying is at the heart of that in Westminster. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And then you've got the whole party dimension as well, that people are incredibly loyal to their political parties. And so stuff is lost under a swirl of partisan one-upmanship. Who had a better week? Was it us or was it them? I think, to quote a David Cameron phrase, we're all in this together, really.
And you're not going to change that culture, though, that kind of history, with setting up new independent panels. For the Westminster you described sounds like it's almost unreformable, that it can't be changed, whatever you do.
No, I would disagree with you. Look, since the expenses scandal, we now have systems in place for financial impropriety. So there is an independent standards body, IPSA, that deals with those kind of things. And I think, everyone is very conscious, not of over-claiming those kind of things. But for years and years, people got away with it, with claiming second homes and paying off their mortgage and forgetting the kind of stuff that we heard then, claiming for a duck house, all that. So, we've managed to sort out, or we've managed to create systems to address financial impropriety. But the thing about sexual impropriety is it's so difficult to define. When does it cross the line? There's no agreed definition of when it turns from friendly banter or whatever into misconduct. So I think we need some proper mechanisms in place, and we need to look at the sort of consent of the victims, because they turn into victims when the consent is not there. There's lots of blurred boundaries and grey areas here, aren't there? That, shopping for the boss at lunch hour, may not be illegal, may not be punishable by criminal law, but if that woman assistant felt uncomfortable going to a sex shop or whatever it was and doing those things, then it's not okay and it crosses the line. So we need someone independent, a third-party thing, to judge this, and we need clear rules to uphold.
OK, well,
Because at the
party
moment,
leaders
those
meeting.
things just aren't there.
OK, party leaders meeting next week to start discussing that and how it's going to work on Monday. For now, Rupa Huq, thank you very much indeed for joining us.